Good morning everyone, Warden of the North here, and today what I want to go over is a quick video on how to start up the F-18 the way I do it. It's very quick, it's very easy, and it gets the job done without tons of explanation or anything like that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to set up my loadout. So while the loadout is being created and set up, I can go ahead and start the jet. So I'll hit the backspace key above the enter key on the keyboard, and then left click on ground crew, left click on rearm and refuel. Make sure your fuel's at 100%, gun ammo is 100%, ammo type default, flare and shaft should be both set to 60 just so you have an even loadout there. My livery is Canada light gray camo. I like that because I'm Canadian. I'll set this to 416 just for funsies. And then I want to do my hard points here, do my loadout. So on the wingtips, I'll get Sidewinder AM9X, and then what do you hear? 1 AM120C, 2 AM120Cs, 1 AM120C, center fuel tank, so I have gas because I go through a lot of it. 1 AM120C, 2 of them here, right here, and then 1 right here, 20C, and then on the wingtip AM9X. Alright, so that's pretty standard for a combat air patrol mission or an air-to-air patrol mission. So hit OK. That gets started. Now we can go ahead and start up the jet. Alright, so we'll take away our flight stick right here because we need to see the stuff behind it. We're going to arm our seat so it's not in the way. Our seat ejector or ejection, whatever. Right click on battery here to turn on your battery, and then over here we have our APU. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to left click on this switch, turn on our APU, and then we're going to turn on our oxygen. While we wait for this green light to light up here, we're going to hit master caution, right click on our left MFD, then our right MFD. We're going to power up our center MFD right here by just moving the switch all the way to bright, and then our HUD right here. And now the light is green, it's lit up. So we can right click on engine crank right here, right click on that. That gets our right engine started. Alright, while that happens, we're going to continue. So our shaft dispenser, we're going to right click to bring it all the way to the top on bypass. Our ECM, we'll put it on REC, okay, just so that it doesn't automatically come on. And we're going to, now I think we can go ahead. Everything's good. This is at 30, then 20. Now we can, on our keyboard, we're going to hit, I believe it's Shift Home to spool this up. Once our right engine gets to idle, our electrical systems come online, so everything starts to light up. In the meantime, we're going to uncage this gauge. Alright, there we go. We're going to hear that from Bouncy Betty. And then we're going to left click on FCS. Okay, so left click on FCS. We're going to do our bit test here. So hold down the Y key on your keyboard and then hit FCS right there, left click there. It's going to go in test. So it's testing out all the control surfaces and everything like that. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our INS alignment. Okay, so we can navigate properly. So because we're on a carrier, all right, we're going to right click on this dial for CV. Okay, if we're in an airfield or if we're on the ground, then it would be GND for ground. All right, and then we want to hit stored heading right here so that it aligns much quicker. All right, master caution, click that a whole bunch of times to get it off. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our left engine because we're already at idle with the right engine, so left engine crank. Alright, that's coming online. That's all good. Now, what are we missing here? So, the next thing we want to do is our RWR. So, right here, we're going to left click on this button to turn it on. Alright, RWR comes online. We want to do IFF, so identify friend or foe. Click on that. Press on, that turns it on. Data link. Left click on that, press on, that turns on our data link. Alright. And then we want to go on our left MFD, RWR, hit this is EW, early warning, and we make sure that we box HUD here, okay? Box HUD there, alright. So that's all set up. The next thing we want to do is our radar, set that to standby. We'll be turning it on once we take off. Alright, so our FCS, our bit test is clear. We're all good to go. Okay, so we'll left click on this menu and left click on it again until we see checklist right over here. And left click on this button. Now, our takeoff trim is set to 2% right now. We're going to reset our takeoff trim by left clicking on this button right here. Alright, that resets it. Now it's default to 12 degrees. Alright, we're going to bring this up a little bit. I always like the nose to pitch up a lot on takeoff so that I'm not going into the water. And that's good. So it's 16 degrees. If it's a really, really heavy loadout, then you might want to do it at 17 degrees. Alright, but that's just for takeoff. Alright, so next thing we want to do is make sure our flaps are set to half, not full. Alright, and I think we are ready to go. If you have a look down here, our INS is aligned because we have the little OK symbol right here. So that's all good. So now that it's aligned, we just we want to set it to IFA, I believe it's right here. So we right click on the dial to move it to IFA. So 1, 2, 3, IFA, done. I like to have my HSI, sorry, up here. There we go. And I think we are ready. We've got our ordnance, it's all set up. Now the next thing we want to do is make sure that our wheel chocks have been removed. So let's do an external view, so we'll hit F2 on the keyboard, make sure our wheel chocks, they're still there. So we gotta tell the ground crew to take them off. So ground crew, wheel chocks, remove. Alright, so they're gonna remove the wheel chocks. We're going to hit S as in Sierra on our keyboard to get our nose wheel steering right here set to high so that we can really, really steer the jet on the deck. And last but not least, we're going to bring the canopy down by hitting Control C as in Charlie. Alright. Parking brake off. Left click on the parking brake right here. Take it off. And now we can, hold on a sec here. If you have a look, it's a good thing I checked. Our left engine isn't idling yet, okay? So we'll hit Alt, Home to get it to idle, power up to idle. Now it doesn't matter if you're moving the jet while the engine is powering up to idle, while the other engine is actually powering up to idle. A lot of pilots do this, and I'm not sure if they do it in real life, but I think they do. But it's just so that they're saving gas while they're doing their pre-flight checklist and they're going through all their checks. They're starting everything up and getting everything ready. All right, so they just want to get enough power to get the systems on, and then they do their checks, and then they start up the other engine. All right, that way they're saving on gas. All right, so everything's good to go. Our RWR is on, our IFF is on, our data link is on, our shaft and flare dispensers, that's on, that's working. Radar is set to standby, so we're ready to go. So power up a little bit. Full right rudder to get onto a catapult. Okay, this guy's telling us, he's saying put your wings out because our wings right now are folded up. We'll do that in a second here. All right, right now he's just guiding us to the shuttle. All right, So here we go. Alright, there it tells you to stop, so full brakes to stop. Now the next thing he's going to do, spread your wings, perfect. Alright, we're going to right click twice on this wing thing, and then we're going to, with the mouse wheel, we're going to push it forward to move it in and lock it into position. Alright, now he's telling us to lower the launch bar, so we're going to lower the launch bar here. Alright. And they're going to do, the ground crew does their thing. They move away. This guy's telling us to creep forward, so he's telling us to creep forward as well right here. Alright, so we'll creep forward until we get it locked. There we go. Good. Master caution. Hit that a whole bunch of times. Reset our FCS here, flight control systems, because we're getting nagged by Bitch and Betty. Alright, now he's going to tell us to raise our launch bar. Good. Going to raise our launch bar. This guy is saying, now listen to me, you can now idle up to full power. Okay, so we'll idle up to full power. We will not take off until we salute. Okay, the takeoff won't happen until then. So we have to hit Control Shift plus S as in Sierra on your keyboard to salute. And now you're going to take off. All right. Good. Pull back on the stick. Gear up. Flaps up. And you're pretty much up and running. Okay, now we can hit Control Enter, I believe. Yep, Control Enter to bring up our throttle on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. We'll bring our throttle down a little bit. And now we're good. So if you have a look, we're flying, we're cleaned up. So we're in the air. We'll set our radar to operate. Okay. Attack radar. Radar's going. Everything's going well. We're up and running. We're ready to go. So I hope this helps. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Let me know what we can change. Comment and subscribe. Ciao for now.